Hello, I am sat at my desk and it's a week away from the new year, and I decided to go through my bullet journal and go through some of the spreads that I've made at the start, but then also some that I added throughout the year, what I liked, what I didn't like, etc, etc. Now what's going to happen is I don't have a tripod here, I don't have anything to stack my phone against, so I'm going to be holding it in my hand, so I'm very sorry if it's a bit shaky or whatever, but here we go. Alright, so here it is. And you'll notice there's lots of tabs. Most of them are ones I've just added so I know which ones to flick to, but these more bent ones are ones that I actually keep in the book. I think there's 4 of them, and they're the ones that I use the most. And then obviously we've also got this little thing. Now those tabs are all from this little thing I've had for years and haven't used ever until this bullet journal. All right, let's dive in. Now I'm going to have to blur a lot of this because obviously there's some private information on there. But basically what I did at the start of the year was I made a mini calendar for every month, and then I've added in birthdays for important people that I need to remember. So throughout each month I do kind of look at this. Now I think I'm just going to keep this spread for next year. I've got about 120 pages left in here, and I think I've used about 120 as well. So I'm thinking I can probably get away with using this for all of next year. I'm hoping anyway. So I'm just going to leave this. I know the dates will be wrong, but all the birthdays will still be the same. So I don't know why I'd waste 2 pages remaking all this. On to the next one. Now this is one I kind of regret having put at the start of my bullet journal. It's my habit trackers, and it's just a little bit messy to have at the start. But I am very happy, and I've been using a new form of habit tracker actually. But I've been using it every single month. Oh, and actually here, I forgot I did this. So the top half was obviously habits, but then here on the bottom, I was tracking actually which fruit I was having. That's cool. Let's move on. This is my year in pixels. I have loved this page so much. I'm very happy I have it. I'm gonna go through like actual details. I've made some pie charts with this information. I'll put up a whole video about that as well at some point. But this is another reason why I'm kind of sad I did the habit tracker behind this one, because you can kind of see it leaking through. But this is one that I'm going to make again for next year because I'm so happy with it. Then we've got all my favorites pages. Now I've been super happy with these. I'm very happy to have them in my notebook. And you can see I've kind of boxed off for 2022. And I'm going to just try and use the empty space for 2023, and hopefully I won't have to remake it. February is going to be a bit tight, but I think for the rest I'll be fine. This page I haven't used very much. This is my like recommendations page. So like movies I've been recommended to watch, TV shows, musicals, etc. But I am just going to keep using this throughout next year because it's very empty. The wish list has been empty until today, when I thought I actually maybe want a camera. Video ideas at first took a while to use, but now I've been using it. I am going to blur these out because I don't want to spoil anything, but I am a fan of this. And then this page has been brilliant. I have used this so much. This obviously wouldn't be useful for most people, but it's like my thumbnails details for different kinds of videos, and I've just loved it. And most of it isn't going to change for next year. The only thing that does is my like regular videos. So I'll see if I can just like write next to it for 2023 or something, because that's really the only thing that changes. This page, I haven't used very much, but I'm very happy to have. So I think I mentioned when I first did it that I had a jar of words that I would hand out to people every morning, and that could be something that they could take through their day or share to other people for the day or whatever. And I wrote them all here. And I haven't used it a lot, but I am happy to have it there. But then on my phone, I also found compliments that aren't about appearance, because I hate commenting on people's appearances. So I put a lot of them here, and I am very happy to have them. Just a good thing to reference at times. Up here, meal ideas. Again, I haven't really used this very much. This was mostly empty until recently, but maybe one day I'll use it. This book challenge bingo I have loved, and I really enjoy how I've done it as well. I'm sad to be missing 3 for this year, but that's okay. But I don't think I'm going to make another one. Well, maybe I will, because I did enjoy filling it out. Anyway, this meal challenge bingo has been a fail, but then I've barely been in a house with a proper kitchen, so the only thing I was able to complete was eat an Asian meal / dish, because the hotel did an Asian night. Now this is something I added a bit later on, and I'm so happy I did. This is all the shows that I had to do for my summer job, with like my personal rating of how it went based off the color, the date I did it, and then if we were inside or outside, because we have 2 different stages, and whether or not there was a wardrobe malfunction. And then there's a couple that we missed, but on the whole, pretty good. And then obviously we never finished the last 2. But I am so happy, and I think this is something I'll take into every job where I have performances or whatever. All right, those are all of like the yearly spreads. Now onto my first tab, which I think is this one up here. So this is one that I made for cabaret songs. It's double-sided, and I'm very happy with it, even though I didn't use it very much. Oh, I love this one, and I'm gonna keep it for next year. This is where I track all the shows I've seen, when I booked the ticket, how much it cost, when I saw the show, where I sat, my personal rating, and then the theatre it was in, and any other notes. And then I also started adding in which shows had revolves, because there were loads in a row that had a revolve. But I've still got quite a few empty spots here, so I'm gonna keep using this. All right, what's next? This is a really silly one that I just used once over the summer season, and it was to track what kind of themes they were doing at the hotel and whether or not they had good vegetarian options. Now, I am definitely going to blur all this out, but basically these are my check-ins from the job. So I did first third, first half, second third, last third, and now I've got my winter job here as well. And then I've got pros, cons, and other. But I do need to leave that all very blurred because I don't want to get told off. Although I am happy to do a video about my experience. Onto this one, this was a monthly challenge I did where I did no chips for a month and no restaurant desserts for a month. And this is just how I tracked it. And it's very satisfying that it finished on a Sunday. And then obviously I crossed out each day as I went along. But I really like that. If I do another month challenge, that's how I'll track it. Onto my habit trackers. I found out that I could fit more in if I do it like this. So I've got July, August, and September. And I like this heading I've done. And I like the pretty colors. So you'll see this will make another comeback in a minute. This is one that I was actually going to film me doing and setting up. But it's like my top book of the year. So per month my top book, and then just a tree to keep trimming down and find my overall top. And we're just missing December. So these are my current habit trackers. And I realized I don't need to track quite as many habits. So I can fit 6 months into the space of this. And I've purposely not put a heading here yet, because I might end up squishing another 2 months on, because this is now going into March next year. I've already allowed for that. But if I add 2 more, then I just need a repeat of that in order to fit all of next year on, if I want to track habits every month next year. So I'm leaving that blank for now. This is one that I used when I was packing. It's double-sided and very small. This is where I wrote the item, any notes about it, in which case it's going, and whether or not I've packed it. So that was very useful when I was packing up my apartment in Greece. Then this little table is actually about the shows that I had on that very first page, this page here. And I just wrote down how many times indoors, how many times was it good, how many times was it at its worst, how many wardrobe malfunctions, just because I thought it would be interesting to look at that. And then last but not least, I repeated what I did with that, but for the pantomime here in Lapland. All right, that is my bullet journal from this year. Like I said, I definitely am going to do another year in pixels, but I don't really think there's any other spreads that I'm going to actively put in at the start of the year. I think I can still use a lot of the ones I already have, but those are some of the things I've been using. If you are into bullet journaling, please let me know what you've been using. If there's any very unique spreads to your life that you feel you love having in there. This was obviously my first year doing anything like this. I don't think I'm ever going to switch properly to bullet journaling, just because I don't think I'll ever have the time. But I have really enjoyed incorporating some spreads into mine. And maybe at the end of next year when I finish this journal, my next journal will be more bullet journal-y. But so far, like I said, I'm really happy with this. So there you go, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!